Close your eyes for a moment, take a slow breath in and release it gently. Now imagine this. What if you could walk through the chaos of life and never be shaken by anyone? What if every insult, every betrayal, every misunderstanding simply dissolved before it reached your heart? What if no one, absolutely no one, could disturb your peace again? Wouldn't that be freedom? Have you ever wondered why some people seem unbothered, untouchable, calm even in the middle of storms? Why some smile when others would explode? Why they walk away from conflict as if they never even heard it? Do they possess something supernatural, or have they simply understood the secret of reality, that nothing external can move the one who has mastered the inner world? You see, anger is not caused by others. It's not the words they say, nor the way they treat you. It's not their tone, their attitude, or their behavior. Anger is born when you give the outer world permission to define your inner state. The moment you believe that someone outside you can make you feel anything, you hand over your divine authority. So, I ask you again, who truly controls your emotions? The man who insults you, or the mind that chooses to believe his words have power? Everything begins within, every emotion, every reaction, every disturbance. The world you see is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every person that annoys you, every situation that frustrates you, is a mirror reflecting what you have not yet mastered within yourself. Think about it. If you were standing before a mirror and your reflection frowned, would you try to fix the mirror? No, you would change your own expression. Yet how often do we try to fix the mirror of life, the people, the circumstances, instead of transforming the inner cause? This is the great illusion. We believe others are the source of our emotions, but the truth is, they are only instruments revealing our state of consciousness. Close your eyes again. Imagine someone who usually irritates you. See them clearly, hear their voice, feel the tension rising now. Instead of reacting, breathe deeply. Watch the feeling. Don't resist it, simply observe it, as if you were watching clouds pass through the sky. You'll notice something magical. The emotion begins to fade. Why? Because you are no longer inside it. You are aware of it. Awareness is mastery. You cannot be angry and aware at the same time. When you become the observer, the emotion loses power over you. The storm dies down when the sun of awareness rises. The secret to never being angry is not suppressing emotion. It's understanding it. The one who understands no longer reacts, he responds. He knows that every encounter is a projection of his own state. So when someone lies to you, ask, why am I attracting dishonesty? When someone disrespects you, ask, what belief in me allows this reflection? When someone tries to provoke you, ask, what part of me still believes I can be provoked? Life speaks through people. Every event, every word is a message revealing your inner vibration. The unawakened man curses the messenger. The awakened one listens to the message. If you wish to never get angry again, you must stop living as a reactor and begin living as a creator. When you live as a reactor, you are at the mercy of everything, the traffic, the gossip, the weather, the opinions of others. But when you live as a creator, you understand that the entire universe rearranges itself to mirror your inner state. So what does the creator do when someone tries to offend him? He smiles, not out of pride, but out of awareness. He knows that the offense came from a lower state trying to pull him down, and he chooses to stay in peace, because peace is his chosen vibration. Now, let me ask you, what if the people who upset you are actually your teachers? What if every person who bothered you was sent not to destroy your peace, but to reveal where you have none? What if every irritation was an invitation to rise higher? Think of the last time you were angry. Remember how it felt in your body. The tension, the heat, the racing thoughts. Did it solve anything? Or did it simply consume your energy? Every time you give in to anger, you feed the illusion of separation, that others can control you. But when you remain calm, you declare your dominion over your own mind. Here is the secret. Nothing outside you has meaning until you give it meaning. A word is just a sound until your mind labels it offensive. A person's action is just movement until you interpret it as disrespect. Every emotional reaction is born from interpretation, not from reality itself. You cannot control others, but you can always control your interpretation. You can always decide what a thing means to you. Imagine someone cutting you off in traffic. The unconscious mind says, "How dare he?" And the body fills with rage. But the conscious creator says, "Perhaps he's rushing to help someone. Maybe life is teaching me patience." In that instant, peace is preserved. So, how do you practice this daily? By remembering moment to moment that nothing can enter your experience without your consent. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the cause of them. The world mirrors your internal assumptions. If you assume people are against you, you will meet opposition everywhere. If you assume people respect you, honor will follow you naturally. If you assume peace, even in conflict, you will walk through fire untouched. Close your eyes once more and imagine your ideal state. A mind so calm that no insult can disturb it. A heart so peaceful that no betrayal can wound it. See yourself moving through the world like still water, reflecting everything yet disturbed by nothing. Hold that image, feel it, live in it. When someone raises their voice, you smile within. When someone criticizes you, you remain still. When life seems unfair, you remember, it is not happening to me, it is responding to me. And when that realization becomes your natural response, anger disappears forever. There will come a day when people will wonder why you never get upset. They'll say nothing bothers you anymore. And you'll smile, not because you don't feel, but because you finally understand. You are the dreamer of your own dream. No one can disturb the dreamer unless he believes the dream is real. And when you awaken to the truth that all things and all people are reflections of your inner state, you'll walk through this world in quiet dominion, calm, unbothered, and free. So I ask you now, do you still believe anyone can make you angry? Or have you realized the truth that all along it was only you speaking through them? And once you understand that, peace is not something you find, it is something you remember, because peace has always been your true nature. The rest was only noise pretending to be real. Listen, not with your ears, but with your awareness. Do you hear the silence beneath every sound? That silence is who you truly are. It is the stillness that cannot be offended, cannot be moved, cannot be hurt. Every time you forget it, you fall into reaction. Every time you remember it, you rise into creation. The person who never gets angry isn't someone who never faces conflict. No, it's someone who sees conflict as illusion, a shadow cast by thought. The moment you understand this, every insult becomes powerless, every disturbance meaningless. Look back on your life. Can you remember how many times you've been angry? Each time it felt so justified, so necessary, yet where are those moments now? They've vanished, haven't they? All that remains is the memory of how small they made you feel. You thought you were protecting your pride, but you were only defending an illusion, an image of yourself that never truly existed. When you're deeply conscious, you see that there is no one to defend, there's only awareness experiencing itself. Someone shouts at you, but who are they shouting at? Someone mocks you, but who are they mocking? If the self they attack is imaginary, why take offense? The unawakened man fights shadows. The awakened one smiles at them. Imagine standing in front of a child who calls you names. Would you take offense? Of course not. You would see innocence, ignorance perhaps, but not an enemy. You'd smile and move on. That is how the awakened mind treats all hostility, as the behavior of a soul still learning to see. Every person who tries to disturb you is operating from a state of fear. Anger, jealousy, gossip, control. All of these are masks worn by fear. And when you understand that, compassion replaces anger automatically. You cannot be angry with someone you understand. You might ask, how do I stay calm when someone disrespects me publicly? By understanding that their words have no reality unless you give them one. You do not live in their world. They live in the world you create through your awareness. Their actions are part of your play, your dream. If you choose peace, even their insult must bow to that vibration. This is the power of assumption, the power to define your reality. When you assume peace, the world cannot give you war. When you assume love, hate dissolves in your presence. When you assume divine indifference, not coldness but serenity, every chaotic situation bends itself into harmony. Watch your inner dialogue. Most anger begins not when someone offends you, but when you replay the moment in your mind, you rehearse it again and again. How dare they say that to me? You become the actor, the director, and the audience of your own suffering. But when you choose silence, when you refuse to rehearse pain, you reclaim your throne. You remain the ruler of your state. The world bows to that. Do not fight emotion, understand it. Do not suppress anger, observe it. Each time you observe without reacting, you weaken the chain that binds you to the illusion. When you stop reacting, people lose their power over you. You become unpredictable, untouchable. They no longer know which buttons to press because the old buttons have vanished. Think of the sea. When the storm comes, the surface roars, but deep beneath the water is still. The one who never gets angry lives from that depth. The waves may rise, but his consciousness remains unshaken. Every person you meet is an invitation to practice this stillness. The difficult co-worker, the jealous friend, the unfair boss, they are not obstacles, they are mirrors showing you where peace still waits to be remembered. When you meet resistance, smile inwardly and say, this too is me. When you face offense, whisper, this too is my creation, not in guilt, but in awareness. Because only the Creator can transform what He acknowledges as His own. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to walk through the world completely unbothered? What would it feel like to see hatred and remain in love? What would it feel like to hear gossip about you and feel no urge to defend? That feeling, that deep stillness, is your true self calling you home. It's not weakness, it's power. To fight is easy, to remain still takes mastery. The loudest man in the room is not the strongest. The one who doesn't need to prove his strength already possesses it. So practice this. The next time someone speaks sharply to you, pause. Feel the energy rising. Don't act, don't reply, just notice it. In that moment of observation, you have already won. You have stepped out of the illusion and into awareness. The mind will try to drag you back. You must respond. You must protect yourself. But remember, you are not the mind. You are the one observing the mind. Let it shout, let it argue, let it cry for attention. You remain as the silent witness, untouched by its noise. And when you practice this long enough, something extraordinary happens. You begin to radiate calm. People sense it before you speak. The very atmosphere around you becomes peace. They'll come to you for comfort. They'll ask how you remain so centered when everything falls apart, and you'll know. It's not because life became easier, it's because you stopped fighting shadows. Close your eyes now and see yourself standing in a room filled with people arguing, shouting, complaining. Watch yourself smile gently, still, unmoved. Notice how their noise fades as your calm expands. That's the truth of power. It doesn't shout, it simply is. Every time you choose calmness, you teach the universe who you are. Every time you refuse to be offended, you declare your spiritual maturity. Every time you turn an attack into an opportunity for awareness, you rise another step in consciousness. And soon anger becomes a language you no longer understand. You won't need to force calm. It will be your natural state. You'll look back on your old reactions and smile, wondering why you ever thought they mattered. Because once you taste inner stillness, nothing else compares. It is the soundless strength beneath all creation, the eternal I am that never moves, never reacts, only creates. And when you live from that truth, the world becomes your reflection of peace. Feel the air around you now. Feel how still it becomes when your attention settles inward. That stillness you sense is not outside. It is you. It has always been there, waiting beneath the noise of reaction, beneath the layers of identity you've worn for so long. When you realize that, you stop seeking peace, you start expressing it. You no longer chase calmness, you emanate it. The one who knows his inner world rules his outer world effortlessly. Notice how, when you are angry, the body tightens, the heart races, the breath shortens, the body becomes a slave to the emotion. But when you observe, when you step back and breathe, the body obeys the stillness of your awareness. Your breath deepens, your heart slows, your energy expands. You become as calm as an ocean untouched by wind. This is mastery, not of others, but of yourself. When you master yourself, no one can ever master you. People may try to provoke you, but they will find nothing to hold on to. Their words will pass through you like wind through an open window, felt but powerless. You will start to see that every irritation is a gift. Every challenge is a mirror. Every disturbance is an opportunity to remember who you are. You'll begin to thank the people who once bothered you, for without them, you would have never discovered your strength. Imagine someone insulting you right now. See their face, hear their voice. Now, instead of reacting, imagine smiling, not because you agree, but because you see through it. You recognize the illusion. You see fear hiding behind the anger, pain behind the hostility, confusion behind the cruelty, and in that moment your heart expands with compassion. The same energy that once turned into rage now transforms into light. That light dissolves the darkness of offense. You become a space through which love flows effortlessly. People will feel it around you. They'll speak softly in your presence. They'll sense something they can't explain, a stillness that commands respect without ever demanding it. That is true power, quiet, invisible, unbreakable. And as you continue to live from this awareness, something else happens. You stop needing validation. You stop needing to be understood. You stop needing to be right. You realize that truth doesn't need to fight for itself. It simply exists. Every time you feel the pull to argue, ask yourself, what am I defending? You'll find that what you defend is always an illusion. Your image, your pride, your opinions, your story. But the real you, the one beyond name and form, needs no defense. It is eternal, untouchable, whole. When this understanding becomes natural, reactions fade like old habits that no longer fit. You'll walk through life aware, conscious, awake, not because you're suppressing anger, but because anger no longer finds a home in you. It cannot survive in the light of understanding. Every word that once pierced your heart now passes through your awareness without leaving a mark. Every judgment becomes meaningless noise. You hear, you see, but you don't absorb. That's the beauty of awakening. You stop collecting the world's energy. You become the space through which it flows. Even in the face of betrayal, you remain whole. Even in misunderstanding, you remain gentle. Even when accused unjustly, you remain free because you've discovered the great truth. You are not what happens to you. You are what responds to what happens. There is a vast difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is unconscious. Response is divine. Reaction comes from memory. Response comes from awareness. Reaction creates karma. Response ends it. When you live in awareness, your response carries peace into every situation. You no longer meet fire with fire. You dissolve fire with light. You no longer fight darkness. You become so radiant that darkness disappears on its own, and gradually your outer world transforms to match your inner one. People who once tested your patience will begin to change, not because you forced them, but because your vibration no longer feeds their chaos. The universe rearranges itself around your calmness. It's like standing in the center of a storm. The winds roar, the thunder rolls, but at the center, perfect stillness. That stillness is where you live now. Nothing enters unless you invite it, nothing disturbs unless you agree to be disturbed. You will find that the greatest joy arises not from having control over others, but from no longer needing to control them. You release the world from your expectations. You let people be who they are, and you remain who you are, untouched, unshaken. And the moment you stop resisting, life becomes light. You stop fighting reality. You flow with it. You begin to see that every person you meet is acting out the script of their own inner state. You watch with compassion, never with judgment. What once irritated you now amuses you. What once offended you now teaches you. What once hurt you now heals you. The mind that was once your enemy becomes your ally. You start to use it as a servant rather than a master, and the emotions that used to overpower you become signals, gentle whispers reminding you to return to awareness. Close your eyes once more and imagine walking through your day. Someone criticizes you. You smile softly. Someone gossips about you. You bless them silently. Someone forgets your worth. You remember it yourself. This is the posture of a master. This is the energy of one who has remembered their divinity. And the more you dwell in this state, the more peace becomes your default frequency. You won't have to try to stay calm. Calmness will be who you are. You won't have to force forgiveness. Forgiveness will flow naturally because there will be nothing left to forgive. Everything that happens will simply pass through you, leaving no residue, no wound, no story. You will laugh more, love more, rest more, because the heaviness of reaction will have fallen away. You'll begin to understand that nothing ever truly happens to you. It all happens for you, to remind you of your power, your awareness, your truth. And as you live from that realization, the need to get angry will feel foreign, unnecessary, even impossible, because the one who used to react is no longer there. You'll notice that life begins to move differently around you. Moments that once seemed chaotic now unfold with quiet precision. The same people, the same circumstances, yet the vibration has changed. Because you have changed, you're no longer tangled in the emotional noise of others. You're the listener, not the echo, the observer, not the storm. And when people sense that steadiness in you, they begin to soften. Your calm becomes contagious. Your silence teaches louder than your words ever could. You'll find that you don't even need to explain yourself anymore. Your energy speaks for you. When others raise their voices, yours lowers naturally. When they rush, you slow down. When they push, you yield. Not in weakness, but in wisdom, because you've realized that peace is not the absence of noise, it's the mastery of it. It's the ability to walk through the fire without being burned, to hear the insult without being touched by it, to stand in misunderstanding and still choose love. Each time you do this, the illusion of separateness fades a little more. You start to see yourself in everyone, even in those who attack you. You see their pain as your old pain, their anger as your past self crying for attention, and compassion replaces every trace of resentment. Then you understand why the masters never retaliated, never defended, never reacted. They saw the truth. There is no other, there's only consciousness playing all its roles at once. You and the one who bothers you are both fragments of the same dream, meeting only to remind each other to wake up. Once you know this, forgiveness is no longer an effort, it becomes automatic. You forgive not because they deserve it, but because you no longer wish to carry the illusion. You release them, and in doing so, you release yourself. There's a lightness that fills your being when anger no longer finds a home in you. It's as if the universe itself bows to that calmness. Doors open effortlessly, situations resolve themselves, relationships heal on their own. Why? Because resistance has vanished, and where resistance ends, flow begins. The world outside becomes a mirror of the peace you hold within. People who used to challenge you now bring you ease. Conversations that once left you drained now leave you uplifted. because you're no longer participating in the lower vibrations. You were simply observing them, transforming them by your very presence. Imagine walking into a room filled with tension, yet instead of absorbing it, you dissolve it just by being there. That's the silent authority of the awakened soul. You won't need to demand respect. Your energy will command it. You won't need to ask for love. Your stillness will radiate it. Everything you once chased will start moving toward you effortlessly. And when you begin to see this pattern repeat, you'll realize that the entire universe was never against you. It was always responding to your state of consciousness. It wasn't punishing you, it was teaching you. Every person who tested you was helping you discover this strength. Every argument, every betrayal, every misunderstanding, all of them were sculpting the calm that now defines you. There's something sacred about this awareness. You no longer need to prove anything. You no longer need to win. You realize that peace is victory, because nothing can defeat a mind that refuses to fight, and then even your thoughts begin to quiet. The inner chatter fades. The mind that once shouted with endless commentary now whispers only what is needed. You start to experience moments of pure stillness, not forced, not practiced, but natural, like breathing. In those moments, you sense the vastness of who you are, the infinite awareness behind every experience. You'll walk through a busy street and feel as though time has slowed down. Voices become echoes. The noise of the world becomes music. You're in it, but not of it. You're moving, but you're also perfectly still. And when something unexpected happens, someone cuts you off, someone disrespects you, instead of reacting, you smile inwardly. You understand that only the unconscious can provoke. You remain conscious, so you cannot be provoked. You are the awareness witnessing the play of consciousness through others. That is when life becomes effortless, when you no longer fight the reflection, but change the image within, when you no longer need control, because you've realized you already are the control. You are the cause, not the effect. Every time you remain calm, the old patterns lose strength. Every time you observe without judgment, the old identity fades, and the new self, the timeless, peaceful self, emerges naturally. You'll start noticing subtle things, the way your breath moves slower, the way your heartbeat aligns with peace, the way your energy feels lighter. These are signs that you've shifted from reaction to creation. You no longer live from emotion. You live from awareness, and awareness has no enemy. It cannot be disturbed. It cannot be offended. It simply is. You will find that the people who once triggered you begin to fade from your life. Situations that once tested you will no longer appear. The universe will no longer need to send them, because you have learned the lesson they carried. You'll live with an ease that others mistake for luck. But you'll know it isn't luck, it's alignment. It's the natural harmony of a mind that no longer fights with itself. And in that harmony, every word, every gesture, every breath becomes sacred. You move slowly, deliberately, gracefully. Not because you try to, but because peace has become your rhythm. Even silence feels full, alive, meaningful. Even solitude feels like companionship. Even conflict feels like opportunity. That is how you transcend anger. Not by denying it, but by awakening beyond it. You don't kill the emotion, you outgrow it. And when you do, you will look at the world with eyes of deep understanding. Eyes that see beyond behavior into essence, beyond words into energy, beyond form into consciousness itself. So now, as you open your eyes and return to this moment, remember this truth. No one has the power to make you angry unless you give it to them. The world does not control you. You control how the world appears to you. Every word spoken against you, every act meant to disturb you, is only energy waiting for your interpretation. Choose peace, and the storm loses its voice. Choose awareness, and the chaos dissolves before it reaches you. The one who cannot be provoked is the one who has remembered who he truly is. Pure consciousness untouched by the noise of the dream, that is real strength. not shouting, not revenge, not control, but quiet dominion over the self. So walk through this world like the still water that reflects heaven itself. Let nothing pull you from your center. Let no one rent space in your peace. And when the world tries to drag you into its drama, smile, for you now know the truth. The only battle worth winning is the one within.